Welcome to this lesson. In our previous lesson, we looked at the historical development of learning theories. Learning is a lifelong process, and it plays a crucial role in our personal and professional development. Whether you're a student, teacher, or someone looking to enhance their own learning, this video is for you. Today, we'll learn the basic principles that underpin how we acquire new knowledge and skills. These principles are like the building blocks of learning, helping us understand why some learning experiences are more effective than others. So, what can you expect from this video? Well, we'll start by studying the concept of readiness, principle of exercise, and effect. Throughout this video, we'll provide real-life examples, practical tips, and insights into each principle. By the end, you'll have a deeper understanding of how learning works and how you can apply these principles to become a more effective learner or educator. Learning objectives. By the end of this lesson, you should be able to explain each principle of learning and its significance in the learning process. Apply these principles in various educational and personal contexts. Identify the role of these principles in the learning process. So let's get started. Stick around, take some notes if you like, and get ready to master the basic principles of learning. Principles of learning readiness. It's all about being prepared to learn. Think of it as a green light that signals your brain is ready to absorb new knowledge. Imagine, for a moment, that your brain is like a sponge, and readiness is the state in which the sponge is most absorbent. When you're ready to learn, you're in the best position to soak up new information effectively. Readiness is often influenced by a person's developmental stage, prior knowledge, and personal experiences. It can vary from one individual to another, so recognizing and respecting this variation is crucial in teaching and learning. Let's break down the key aspects of readiness. 1. Developmental readiness. This refers to a person's cognitive and emotional maturity. For example, a child might not be developmentally ready to grasp advanced mathematical concepts, but they are ready to learn basic arithmetic. 2. Prior knowledge. What you already know impacts your readiness to learn new information. It's like building a house. You need a solid foundation to add more layers. 3. Personal experience refers to the unique events, situations, and interactions that an individual has encountered in their life. These experiences are highly subjective and can encompass a wide range of activities and circumstances. Let's look at a couple of real-life examples to illustrate readiness. Think of a child learning to ride a bicycle. They may not be ready for it at a very young age because they lack the physical and cognitive skills required, but as they grow, their readiness level increases and they can eventually ride a bike. Likewise, envision an adult learning a new language. If they've had previous exposure to similar languages or have a strong motivation to learn, they may be more ready to absorb the new language quickly. How can we apply this in education practice? If you're an educator, it's essential to gauge the readiness of your students. This can be done through assessments, discussions, or by being aware of developmental milestones. For learners, it means recognizing when you're prepared to tackle a new subject or skill. Teachers often use different instructional methods to adapt to their students' readiness levels. Some may need more guidance and support, while others are ready for more independent learning. Now, let's consider the principle of exercise. Exercise, in the context of learning, means practice and repetition. Your brain is like a muscle. Just as you need to exercise your muscles to make them stronger, you need to exercise your brain to make it smarter. Learning doesn't happen in a vacuum. It requires repeated effort. So, why is exercise important in learning? 1. Practice makes perfect. The more you practice, the better you get. Think about a musician learning to play a new song. They don't get it right the first time. It takes practice, repetition, and refining their technique. 2. Reinforcement. Repetition reinforces what you've learned. It helps to solidify the connections in your brain, making it easier to recall information when you need it. Let's take a look at a few real-life examples to illustrate the principle of exercise. Consider a child learning to tie their shoelaces. The first few attempts may be clumsy, but with practice, they become more adept at it. Eventually, it becomes a skill they can perform effortlessly. Think about a student learning mathematics. Solving problems repeatedly helps them grasp the concepts and remember the formulas. How can we apply the principle of exercise in our learning? If you're a student, it's crucial to incorporate practice and repetition into your study routine. Review your notes, solve problems, and test your knowledge regularly. For educators, use techniques like flashcards, quizzes, and interactive activities to engage your students and encourage practice. Whether you're a student or a teacher, remember that learning doesn't stop at understanding a concept once. It's about honing your skills through consistent practice. If you're in a lab setting, experiment and observe, repeating the process to understand the underlying principles. This is a powerful form of exercise for your mind, and if you're learning to play a musical instrument, keep practicing those chords, scales, and melodies to become a maestro in no time. The next principle to learn in this lesson is the principle of effect. It focuses on how emotions can influence our learning experiences and why some lessons leave a lasting impact. Visualize for a moment that your mind is like a canvas. Emotions, like colors, paint vivid pictures on this canvas. These emotional impressions can either enhance or inhibit your learning. The principle of effect is all about understanding the emotional and psychological impact of your learning experiences. 1. Emotional significance. Information and experiences that carry emotional significance are more likely to be remembered. Think about a time when you felt a strong emotion, such as joy, fear, or surprise. Chances are you remember that event vividly. 2. Engagement and interest. When you're emotionally engaged and interested in a subject, your learning becomes more effective. Enthusiasm for a topic makes the learning process smoother and more enjoyable. To help illustrate the principle of effect, let's consider a few real-life examples. Picture students who love science. They're excited about a hands-on experiment. Their enthusiasm and curiosity make the learning experience highly effective because they're emotionally engaged. Consider someone conquering a fear of public speaking. The emotional significance of this achievement makes it a memorable learning experience. How can we apply the principle of effect to enhance our learning experiences? If you're a teacher, creating an emotionally safe and stimulating classroom environment is crucial. Encourage your students to express themselves and foster a positive emotional connection to the subject matter. Storytelling is a fantastic tool for educators. It connects emotionally with students, making history and lessons come alive with relatable narratives. For learners, finding ways to connect emotionally with the subject matter is vital. You can do this by relating the content to your personal experiences, interests, or passions. When visiting a museum or historical site, for instance, immerse yourself in the emotional context of the exhibits. Imagine the people, their stories, and the emotions they felt. This will help you remember and connect with the historical events. If you're an avid reader, savoring the emotions and experiences of characters in a novel is a powerful way to engage with literature on a deep level. To wrap up this lesson, readiness is a dynamic and individualized aspect of learning. Being aware of it, whether you're a teacher or a learner, can significantly improve the learning experience. Exercise is like the secret source of learning. It's the effort, practice, and repetition that transforms information into knowledge. So keep those mental muscles in shape and be ready to tackle new challenges with confidence. While principle of effect reminds us that learning is not just about facts and figures, it's also about the emotional connection we create with the subject matter. Emotions are the colors that make your learning canvas vibrant. Now, let's find out how well you understand this lesson. Take a time to participate in a quick quiz. Good job! You've completed the quiz. In conclusion, understanding the fundamental principles of learning is an essential step on our lifelong journey of personal and professional development. We've explored readiness, exercise, and the effect, discovering how our unique experiences and emotional connections influence our learning. Readiness prepares us for the journey, exercise strengthens our mental muscles, and the effect brings vivid colors to our canvas of understanding. As we move forward in this learning adventure, keep in mind that the principles of primacy and recency await us in the next part of our lessons. These principles will shed light on why the beginning and end of our learning experiences can leave a lasting impact. So stay curious and stay engaged.